You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.
Go for it, Jim. Climb the ladder, kid. Make yourself famous.
A podcast covering all things WWE.
I have now returned to save the WWE.
NXT.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
And AEW.
Holy wrestling. I couldn't be more happy.
Here are your hosts, Kyle Gagliardi and Jim Tucker.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks. I am your host with the most, Kyle Gagliardi, and my co-host is my good friend, Jim Tucker, or as I like to call him, Tucky!
What's going on, Kyle?
Been a couple weeks for us, huh?
It has, yes.
Not a couple weeks since I've seen you. I've seen you a bit over the past couple weeks.
Yeah, good thing we like each other.
Do we, though?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Confirmed.
we do. I can confirm I do like you, Tucky. But yeah, we're coming off of a very eventful live attendance of professional wrestling. We had a Survivor Series weekend. We were a part of all of it.
All of it.
Like SmackDown.
Yeah, marking out, SmackDown, War Games, marking out, standing in lines, Survivor Series, Raw for one of us.
Yeah, for you.
You didn't miss much.
Glad I missed out on that Raw. Not that it was a bad show.
Title change, but energy-wise, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. My voice was gone, too. Why don't we go and dive into that Survivor Series weekend that we attended? So we get there on Friday after work, right?
Yep.
You drove us to Mikey Wilson's house. Then Mikey Wilson would take us out to the Allstate Arena, or really our hotel room, but the hotel room was right by the Allstate, which was nice because free parking, Tucky.
Yeah, that was the move. We got there early enough to check into the hotel, got up to the room, got the lay of the land, realized we had a fridge, nice things like that.
Put our pop in there.
Noticed we had free parking.
Yeah, we took advantage of that. We're not going to say where.
Nope.
But somewhere near the Allstate Arena, we were able to get free parking. And did you get it on Monday when I wasn't there either?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
And that's $25 every time, right?
Every time, yeah. So we saved $100 in parking.
Right.
And they did not. There was no security, no nothing. So.
And it was just a 5-minute walk in 30-degree weather, which was a little nipply.
It was a little nippy, but you walk that 5 minutes, you kind of front load. You're not sitting in the parking lot. We were 25 minutes away from home when Vogus was still left, stuck in the parking lot. One of those nights, remember?
Escaping that parking lot, or any parking lot, I feel like in general.
Parking
after
lots stink.
They stink.
Those stink. A full parking lot, especially after a night like Survivor Series, you got 16,000, whatever, trying to get out.
It's chaotic, and that's why when we went to AEW Dynamite the following Wednesday, we made sure we parked near the back.
Yes,
where there was another escape route, but. Good thing with us, we were one of the first few people to leave AEW. We'll touch on that a little bit. Friday SmackDown before Survivor Series. It was a decent show, but I kind of want to tell everybody what happened afterwards. We were a little hungry after the show, weren't we?
We were a little hungry. And, Google is a blessing because it'll tell you where everything's at,
right.
So right across from the hotel, we got a Witch
sandwich place, if you don't know what that is.
Witch is a spot.
Good place.
It's not bad, right? So... we start huffing it over there, and...
Literally.
Nope.
First off, crossing that road...
Not great.
At that point, after the show...
In what state we were, heavily influenced by our barley pops.
I'm not going to lie, I had a few Jameson shots before the show.
Yeah.
And after. It was very nice, but this Witch claimed to be 24/7, just like R-Truth. It wasn't. It was closed. We went in there, 9:30 at night?
Yeah.
How are you closed at 9:30 at night? I'm hungry.
Yeah, I know. So where we were at, I was thinking, I'll get a sixer here, start cutting it. Mikey wants to go full send. We buy a 15-pack.
He gets 2 hot dogs from the gas station too.
Gets 2 roller hot dogs that have probably been up there a minute
or days. Yeah,
and then we huff it over to the McDonald's.
A classy dessert or dinner, I should say there.
Yeah. Mikey gives me his order and then stands out by the sign
guarding the pops.
Protecting, yes, our beverages. And then he gets more food on top of that from his 2 hot dogs. So
that guy can eat. I didn't know that about Mikey.
He can.
He can yell Adam Cole, baby.
Yep.
And he can eat. That's all I know.
Yeah, not much to put on a resume, but as a friend and as a guy, not bad.
Not bad at all. I had a good time with him this weekend.
Yeah.
So we went back Friday night. We played some of your games that you ended up bringing. Had a good time, passed out around midnight. We're waking up. We're in Chicago. We go get some IHOP. You know, you got to recharge the batteries a little bit.
Yep.
What did you get? You get like a big breakfast.
I got an omelet. It had ham, hash browns, and cheese in it. Come on now.
And then I think Mikey got those 2 sweetest things on the menu.
And complained about it.
Birthday cake pancakes.
Yes, birthday cake pancakes and
cannolis.
Kind of like sugary, super sugar cannolis. It gets mad because they were so sweet.
I don't know what you expected, getting cannolis and birthday cake pancakes.
Bud, come on.
But we had a very good breakfast. I enjoyed it. It was cheap. And then we get a message from our good friend and loyal listener, Ryan Vogus.
Yes.
Been
Mr.
on the show before. So
yes.
Shout out to you, Vogus. He told us about a few things happening in Chicago.
Yeah, so originally we were going to go to Topgolf and eat some time. And
would have been a lot of money.
It would have, the way that Mike eats it. And stays
Drinks.
hydrated, yeah. Ryan hits us up, says, hey, Sasha Banks, Kevin Owens, they're signing in Chicago. Just a heads up, a friend, someone I met, a new friend that I met randomly, tipped me off. So we looked it up. Seemed pretty legit.
Some of them costed money.
Yeah, there were some other big signings. There was a superstar, like an athlete convention at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center.
New Day, right?
New
Sasha,
Day,
120 bucks.
Well, yeah, for the meet and greet there. But then she was at the Cricket Wireless doing it for free, which was weird. But
does anybody use Cricket Wireless?
I don't know.
If anybody you listening,
they've got money to sponsor the WWE, but yeah.
If you can prove that you use Cricket Wireless and you listen to this podcast, tweet at us and you might win something.
Please, yes.
I'm
hit
dead
us up.
serious with that.
No doubt.
At Pot on Mark.
Between the two, Sasha Banks and Kevin Owens, we decided to go to the Kevin Owens signing, scope it out, see how it was. We had nothing to get signed. So we
didn't.
We had to go on a scavenger hunt.
First stop, Target.
The Target, right next to the IHOP.
And at first glance, we don't really see anything.
We kind of huff it. You and I get into a little bit of a foot race back to the wrestling
Because
side.
we know what we're going for. Mikey was a little confused on why we were high-stepping it.
Yeah.
You got to find the Kevin Owens figure.
Right. And we get there, nothing. Right?
And then we're standing there for about 5 minutes deciding what we're going to do next. And then I just go, oh! I move back one figure. I find an Elite Collection series. I think it's 60-something of Kevin Owens.
The worst.
The shirt that says "Fight Anyone." Your face spoke volumes for that moment.
I was so mad because I was the first one to get there too. I was taking it a little bit too seriously too. And then it was in like that middle row. But I was kind of searching the right side. You guys were kind of searching the left side. And so we just kind of all were like, eh. And then I guess there was this kind of tall middle row that neither of us really tapped into. And
all I had to do was move one figure, Tuck. Just move Seth Rollins out of the way. And it's kind of weird that Seth Rollins was the one in front of Kevin Owens after what we've been seeing lately on WWE TV. So maybe that was a little foreshadowing.
Interesting how it works, yeah.
But so your next thought is, I got to get some cards, right?
Well, we'll get cards. At least I'll get something for him to get signed. Mike buys a pack. I buy a pack. We each buy
$5,
one pack.
Right?
It was a $5 jumbo. And I said, Mike, you know what's going to happen now? You're going to have a Kevin Owens, and I'm not going to get one.
What happened then?
That's exactly what happened. The last card of Mikey's pack was a Kevin Owens, and I got nothing. So here we are on our way to a Kevin Owens signing. We got an Elite figure sitting in the back. We got a card from Mikey sitting to his left.
Right.
And Jimbo's got nothing.
Yeah, so we go to the place, the Walmart, and was it Niles, Illinois?
We checked one other spot. We did check another Target.
Right, and there was nothing there, correct?
They had the $10 Kevin Owens
weird
Barbie doll sized, weird looking, no face scan looking figures.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, we ain't buying that.
So we go over to the Walmart, and of course, since that's where he's signing, they kind of have this Kevin Owens end cap.
Yeah.
Bunch of basic figures. You're able to get a figure there.
Yeah, they were a little beat up. I wasn't thrilled about the condition, but for $10, and luckily as we got they hooked us up there. They did a great job.
They did.
The Walmart and Niles, if there is a WWE signing there, do it. It's a very pleasant experience.
Oh, what was the lady's name that ran it? We knew her name. We saw the name tag, and we were saying, nice job. Oh, I feel bad.
It was like Natalia.
Yeah, it was Natalia, so not Neidhart.
Natalia. It was LIA. Yeah. I guess she was like, this was kind of one of the first ones I was under the impression it was like her first kind of gig that she set up, and we got hooked up with Mountain Dew, like Mountain Dew.
Oh, I was
drink.
wired. There's a new Mountain Dew drink out. It's not great, but it does the trick.
Yeah.
We were feeling good. We waited in line for about an hour.
We were chilling for about an hour, had a good time.
People around us were nice.
Nice, yeah.
It was a good atmosphere, not chaotic.
Nobody stunk, so that was pleasant.
That's rare because usually wrestling fans don't know what deodorant is.
Right.
We get to meet Kevin Owens. He signs a few things, and let it be known, they at first told us Kevin's only going to sign one thing.
We were under the impression he was going to sign a thing, no picture.
So we all just assumed, hey, find that one thing.
Tight butt, get the one thing, move on. Right.
He had 8x10s next to him that you could ask him to sign, which I was in the moment. I didn't get to get that signed. But the guy in front of me had like 3 belts, other things.
Yeah.
He signed them all. He takes pictures. Kevin Owens, really good dude.
Great, and it was a great setup too. Just lean over the table. You give your phone to someone else. You're not shuffling. They had a phone picture taker that took a number of pictures like through the process. Yeah, just kind of kept the thumb on the shutter, and he was a great guy, and it was fun razzing him a little bit because
I should say Mikey called it.
Yes, the big thing, we as a group became under the impression that Kevin Owens was going to be the 4th guy at War Games. This was the signing before War Games, so we were overall.
Signing was
Sasha?
12-2.
Yeah, 12-2. We got there about 11. So we were under the if we're going to get one of these signed, KO in our head had a chance to make a bigger impact. We've heard better things from signings with him. So it was awesome. It was great.
I made a comment. I was like, "So how many people, Kevin, have asked if you're showing up tonight?" And he just goes, I wish I could be there, but I'll be there in spirit.
Yeah.
Mikey goes, I'm not buying it.
Yeah. You ain't fooling me, man. And I was like, okay, see you tonight. like we were good friends, and we were just going to see him at the show. And
it was so cool. Neither of us have ever met a current WWE.
No.
I don't think you have.
No. When you go to local Black Label shows, like they've got one coming up in January that I'll probably try to talk you into going to.
You probably won't have
Alex Shelley. Alex Shelley's going to be there.
I wish I could say I know who that is.
He's a big independent name. Johnny Gargano trained with Alex Shelley. Johnny Gargano is kind of the guy he is because of Alex Shelley.
Got
it. Great. There's a lot of so we might want to start putting feelers out and see if we can get some guys. But even before or after the show, it's a
come to my condo.
Start.
It's not weird.
No,
I got a Christmas tree up.
We'll booze you. You know, yeah.
We do have a nice stash.
We'll give you some painkillers in liquid form, and but yeah, it was very cool. You know. You being in the sports entertainment world for much longer than myself, us being able to share that, it was pretty cool with us doing the podcast. And last podcast, episode 13, about par for the course in regards to actually audio listens, but YouTube
950 can confirm clicks.
That ain't bad. Well, and you have to listen to X amount in order for it to count as a view.
Really?
You just because you click on it doesn't
30
count.
Seconds?
It's like X%
okay.
of the total video. So if it's a 1 minute video, you got to watch like 5 seconds. But it was like an hour and a half. So they spent some time, and there is an app where we can dive in and get more analytics. I gotta.
Yeah, we might have to dive in that a little bit because 950 people checked us out on YouTube. So if you're one of those people that checked us out on YouTube and you're now listening to this week's show because of that YouTube video,
we appreciate you.
Welcome,
Thank you.
You're now a part of OTM Nation.
You
but
now are. And on the mark, yeah.
You're a mark.
Yes.
That's just how it is. But now we can confirm we are a Kevin Owens podcast. Then at War Games, obviously afterwards, we had an excellent time. And I can honestly say, and I've been to about 15 shows, my favorite show I've attended live.
Well, I'll tell you what, mine too. I went to All Out, and I was blown away from a show like that. And I think War Games takes the cake for me. It was very cool. We lucked out with the ticket situation because we had Vogus and Mez behind us, and the three of us, when Kevin Owens' music hit, we were like girls at a One Direction or something concert. We got after it.
WWE should have had a hard camera on us because if you would have got our 3 reaction, we looked like 3 marks.
The whole place popped.
Beautiful Chicago pop.
It was nice. It was a lot of fun.
They showed that clip before he hit the curtain, swigging water, not Monster. I love how you commented that on Twitter at JimTuck89.
Yes, at JimTuck89. He was smashing Purple Monster like quarter chugs of those cans between people.
Right before he shook my hand. Yeah. I have the picture of him actually sipping Purple Monster before shaking my hand. But War Games was a good-ass time. The seats were not bad at all. Survivor Series comes Sunday. We were able to go home Saturday night. So you kind of a little bit of a recharge there.
Yeah, and I got to give a few lessons in the morning and get a few bucks, recharge the finances a little bit.
I was going to say, I didn't get a chance to read.
No beers Sunday or Monday for me, so that was nice to,
I drove Sunday, so I didn't drink either.
Yep.
That's right. So Survivor Series, we were pretty up there. We're about towards the top, but a very good show as well. Not as good as War Games. But the thing that bothered me the most, and I never thought we would experience this at a show like Survivor Series, I'm going to call them this, they were fucks behind us.
Yeah, dude. I've actually never had that as well. I've had cold takes, right? You're sitting there and someone just got a just stone cold take. Just terrible.
At ice cold takes.
But the people behind us, they were getting almost political about it, spewing their NXT sucks propaganda.
Anti-NXT trio.
Yeah.
There are 3 guys.
They weren't much older than us, by the way.
I would say upper 20s, lower 30s.
Yeah. Might peak at a 34, 35. So we're right around the same stuff, but their whole ideology of sports entertainment is they want to see Hulk Hogan.
It's Vince McMahon's kids, virtually.
Yeah, they want oiled up big dudes. And I think we kind of shy towards athleticism and story, and NXT has all of that. And
they were livid at the fans rooting for Undisputed Era. Anybody NXT related, if you chanted Undisputed or Adam Cole, baby, they would laugh at you saying, "We want the main roster guys, Braun Strowman, King Corbin." I go, "What,
bro? Nope, nobody wants King Corbin guy."
Well, Vogus does.
Well, yeah,
which King Corbin wasn't bad that weekend, but. That ruined the experience a little bit, but we still had a very good time. Then you end up going to Monday Night Raw with Ian and Mikey.
Yeah.
Not a bad show.
Not a bad show, and it was cool. That was Ian's first live show.
That was.
Ian's had hit a bit of a dry spell down at college. He doesn't have the access to the cable. And
I thought we were talking about something else with the dry spell there.
Well, that's Ian.
Ian, can you confirm?
Thoughts? But
tweet at us.
It was cool. He got to see a title change. I didn't think the 3 hours was bad. They spent an hour building up that title change in one show, and it made it feel important and feel like something. They made Ray look like he wasn't going to win it, and then it was good. It was nice to see a run in to try to help the heels actually get stuffed for once, and Ian liked the show, and I thought it was good too. So. On day 4, you could tell the crowd in Chicago was a little bit dead.
I mean, most of those, I wouldn't say most, but at least half probably attended 2, if not all.
2 of the shows, back-to-backs, 3 out of the 4.
It's just, if you've never experienced a show live, it takes a lot out of you unless you're one of those people that are just going to sit there with their butt on their hands and not do a thing.
Yeah, I think we're pretty active viewers. It's an experience for us, so... One of the bright spots coming out of the Raw was that they did the pre-sale for the SmackDown in March,
so we
copped those tickets, and we're lower level.
2 weeks before WrestleMania, correct?
Yeah. They have SmackDown. They have one more SmackDown for the go home show, and then we're at WrestleMania. So it's hopefully going to build up to be a good one. We know we're in a good spot, and we're lower level. Aisle seats. We got a lot going for us because we got bumped to lower level on that Friday SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
And those, we didn't complain one time about the spacing there. But when you're up, it's a good view. But you're about the person next to you. And we got lucky at Survivor Series because we had a little bit more space. But
there's a few seats next to us open, so we were able to spread out a little bit.
I don't know that if I have the money, I don't know that I'll ever go back up there.
Yeah, I don't think I would either, but then again, with the way my financials are right now, I might have to.
If there's a group of 4 or 5 of us, and I'm very confident I can get smushed in the middle, I'm middle. I'll be middle guy.
You'll be that guy. You'll take one for the team.
Yes, I like being middle guy if it's our guys, because I'd rather be stuffed between you and Mike.
Fair. Then you can get at least a little bit more comfortable than usual.
Yeah.
But
I had a big boy riding to my left on Sundays. So I had to deal with that.
You did. Yeah. You did. I had Mikey to my right who was losing his voice progressively throughout the night. He had a little rasp going on there. But you, Ian, we went to AEW Dynamite.
Yeah.
High expectations, and we're talking about 2 weeks ago, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
I'm going to be completely honest. show didn't hit for me. I didn't like it.
I don't know. Ian liked Raw more than AEW,
and Ian's leans more AEW than WWE
because it's newer. He's newer. He's more enthusiastic, younger. So yeah, kind of a buzzkill, honestly. And again, we're not talking crap about the product. I mean, we'll talk about it this week too.
Sure.
But, it was just eerie because the last time I saw AEW live was at All Out and the place was jumping. So kind of transitioning to the TV weekly, there were 9 sections with fewer than 5 bodies in them.
Absolutely.
Everything on the hard cam side, so the side that the hard cameras were on. But there was a lot of discussion from people online saying on TV it looked packed, and I'm like, well, they control the lighting, bud.
That's why there's the lighting.
And they're professional cameramen, and so even the picture that I sent out, people were like, "That you took that before the show." I'm like,
dude, it was like 20 minutes. We did a video 20 minutes before.
The Jericho stuff is not in the ring,
right?
And that was a 20-minute cut, like 15-minute cut. So I'm at least 30 minutes into the show, and I had it at 7:48 on my timestamp. So I'm 48 minutes into the show, and there's 9 sections wide open. You don't film 9 sections in an hour and 12 minutes on a 2-hour program.
Then again, it might have something to do, and I think you said this off the podcast, just a lot of wrestling going on in Chicago.
Yeah,
in general, the whole weekend.
WWE launched their tickets early.
So
they had a 4-day package.
Some people don't have the money to go to all these shows. And
right.
Going into this, I had high expectations. This is my first time ever going to a non-WWE event. It didn't hit the mark, I guess we could say here.
It was off the mark, yeah.
Would you purchase a ticket to another AEW Dynamite show if it were near?
I will. I will go. If it's anywhere close to WWE stuff, I think I'm going to stay away.
I'm very questionable right now. If you said, hey, I got these tickets to a Dynamite in Chicago,
TV taping.
I'm sorry, that experience ruined it a little bit for me.
Yeah.
And my opinions on AEW as a whole. And I don't hate AEW. I am enjoying it so far. It's just the live experience didn't hit for me a couple weeks ago. So,
right.
I mean, other than that, we had a very good time. We spent some money, spent some time with one another.
You had a good comment, too, during that AEW show. That was the first time you ever felt like you were watching something live on a TV or a pay-per-view type product, and you said it feels like a house show.
It did.
That women's tag match was not good.
There was a lot of things I just didn't think were up to AEW standard. They've set their bar so high, they kind of packed it in here. I think that's virtually what they were doing.
Yeah.
They thought, hey, we're in Chicago, always a good crowd. They'll love us no matter what. We can pack it in a little bit here until the main event.
Yep.
And that's virtually what they did. Moxley, Scorpio Sky. I mean, not Moxley. Jericho, Scorpio Sky, Moxley would show up.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. That's the end of our week. Good times. Good time spent together, but the ending, for me, just sticks out. It's so... I hate to say it, but it just didn't deliver.
Both of us had the same ranking, too. AEW out of the 5 shows was 5 out of 5. You know?
And we voted NXT, if you're keeping up with the scoreboard. So NXT going into last night's wrestling was up 6-3.
6-3, yep. And again, not ratings-based, entertainment, our 2 opinions-based. Technically, we each vote a half a point a show, but we've never been crossed up, and I don't think I don't think we'll be crossed up.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I think I know where you're leaning. Yeah. But before we get into the NXT and AEW talk, we got to mention that we are proudly a part of the Overtime Sports Network. Tucky, what is OTSN?
The Overtime Sports Network is a collection of blogs and podcasts covering all corners of the sports world, from wiffle ball to football, all kinds of different blogs from all types of different people. So we've got a number of podcasts for you to listen to and check out, too. And we're always looking for content creators as well, bloggers especially, graphic designers, things like that.
Blogs picking back up now.
Yeah. Well, it's hot stove season.
Doc's back.
Yeah. Big pickup for us.
Yes.
Big retention for us. So
formerly Section 247, which was a part of the Overtime Sports Network, which you should check out their show still.
You should, yeah. We're all in it. We're not having a Wednesday night podcast war.
Absolutely not.
No, we're all in it together.
Right.
And you can find all the blogs, especially on otsportsnetwork.com. You can stay up to date daily in a live stream type format on Twitter @_OTSN. You can follow us at Pod on the Mark on Twitter as well, or onthemarkpod.com. But I think it's time we go to. I think probably start with the Wednesday Night Wars. That's kind of
We are going to start with that, but I want to make sure one thing that people check out.
Make it happen.
You tell me to make it happen?
I'm telling the people to make it happen after you got it.
Okay, yeah. Got it. All right. This Sunday, if you're not doing anything around 8 p.m. Eastern and you listen to the show, we were nominated for a few of the Wrestle Hub Podcast Awards.
Oh, yeah.
So this Sunday, December 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, only on YouTube. Go ahead, check them out at the Wrestle Hub on YouTube. Subscribe. Check it out and see if we pick up any awards. I believe we were nominated for Newcomers of the Year and Best Duo.
Yeah, Best Duo. I mean, that's pretty much a shoo-in for
Come
us.
on. Those other guys stink.
Trying to draw a little cheap heat on the other podcasts, but if anything, when you watch, you might hear a few other podcasts you might want to dive into too.
Work in Progress was nominated for multiple awards, part of OTSN.
No doubt.
So definitely check them out at the Wrestle Hub on Twitter. But now we can get into the Wednesday Night Wars. Tucky, let's start with NXT. What do you say?
I'm good with it.
All right, first thing we got was Mauro Ranallo. He was back after taking a week off after what we heard happened with Corey Graves.
Yeah,
it's a thing we're not going to touch on here. That's not our time or place. But Killian Dane would come out there. He was supposed to face Damian Priest, but Priest wasn't cleared to compete. So we would get Killian Dane versus Pete Dunne. So this is kind of a rivalry, I guess you could say, going.
Yeah, built it up a little bit. Pete Dunne, non-title Pete Dunne, still getting in the mix, always puts on a good match. So
yeah, and there was nothing too crazy in here. Like not like their War Games triple threat that they have, which was really good. If you didn't check that out,
from all three. Yep.
Yeah, everything on War Games it served its purpose there. But this was your pretty standard bout between the two. Killian Dane though would get the win. I feel like that was a smart decision. Yeah, he needs it a little more probably than Pete.
Yep, and you wound Pete Dunne a little bit and light a fire under his butt, even though he probably didn't need it. But
dude, he held the UK championship for like 600 days.
Forever. But Killian Dane, cool. I didn't realize he had that accent.
I think he's Scottish.
Yeah.
Married to Nikki Cross.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh, he's married to Nikki Cross.
I think.
Sarah Logan is married to one of the
Eric.
Viking. Yeah,
I think it's Eric.
Got it.
We're doing the dating show here in the WWE.
Dun, dun, dun.
Welcome, everyone, to the OTM dating show. But no, that was
Up next, we've got Dana Brooke and Batista.
that has been talked about on a lot of places. But yeah, good for Dave. I guess he's back on the market. So
I know it.
Check out that couple right there. But after that, the Undisputed Era would come out, cutting a promo, basically calling out Finn Balor. Instead, they would get Keith Lee. Keith Lee would come out. He gets a little bit of a back and forth with Kyle O'Reilly. Now, usually Adam Cole's the one doing the talking. Bobby Fish wasn't there. He's injured. But O'Reilly was getting a chance to get some mic time, which I thought was nice because we kind of got to see a little bit of personality from him.
I agree, too. He didn't play the side piece here or the head shaker, the guy on the side that's like making facial expressions and doing nothing. So
which he's usually doing.
Right. Yeah. Good, smart part on NXT for doing that. And man, Keith Lee is hot.
There's so much speculation now of what can be going on with Keith Lee in the future. And I mean, this was just the tip of the iceberg on this episode itself because Keith Lee kept doing great things once again on this show, but he got into it with the Undisputed Era. The UE would basically try to beat him down. But Keith Lee was holding his damn own against all three of them.
Yeah, no doubt. They're concerned about making him look strong.
And I think that might be because eventually, I wouldn't even say eventually, soon he might be getting the call up to, quote-unquote, the main roster. But when this beatdown was happening, Tommaso Ciampa would sneak behind them, and he would attack Adam Cole, which then would send the Undisputed Era retreating. Good segment here. I think we're planting seeds for what we'll see as the future contendership matchup for the NXT Championship. And all around, made everyone in this segment look good.
Yeah, I agree. Everything you wanted to see in a tight little promo, and I bought an Undisputed Era shirt. So
which one? There's a couple of them.
It's a different one. It's not very popular, I don't think. It's a mineral wash shirt. It's got all four of their faces. They're standing up with their arms crossed. It says Undisputed Era on top and bottom. It used to be a premium one that cost like $7-8 more.
What'd you get on Cyber Monday?
Buy one, get one for $1, brother.
Oh, okay.
Picked up the Undisputed Era and Kevin Owens.
Okay. Yeah, I got the... Wait, which Kevin Owens did you get?
Stun Owens Stun.
Okay, so you and Mikey got that one. I ended up getting the duct tape ones back on there.
Oh, come on.
It's on there. I just purchased it on Cyber Monday. Fight Owens, fight on the back. I love that look more. I think it's a cooler look than Stun Owens Stun, don't you think?
Yeah.
Oh, once again.
Mikey popped off and bought 4 shirts in his seat at Raw.
Yeah. He had like an unboxing on Snapchat. I don't know if he sent you that.
Yeah, poking fun of my pro wrestling crate review, that son of a gun.
Fuck you,
I'll
Mikey.
tell you what. Yeah, here's my generic pro wrestling crate review. Just go to www.shop.com and order what you want, and they'll send it to you.
Yeah, cool one, man.
Freaking turd.
At Degenerate Wager, just talk shit to him on Twitter.
I wonder how many views his generic pro wrestling crate review got on Snapchat. Probably not as many as mine.
Probably 3. We're gonna go with 3 there. But
me, you, yeah, crown them 3. That's 3.
It's probably 3 confirmed. After that, Shayna Baszler and Xia Li would have a match. I thought Xia would probably get a little bit more of a fight in this one because before the match, before the commercial, she cut a little bit of a promo, which was nice to see.
Yeah, she's one of the ones where I see her and kind of immediately put out of my mind. There's no attachment to her for me.
Like Tainara.
Yeah, right. Same. And the 2 others that run around with Shayna. I don't know.
Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir.
The tall one's Marina, right?
No. Is that like your new gimmick now? You're just going to get them wrong.
I saw them on Total Divas, though. But whatever.
They were on Total Divas?
Yeah, hanging out with Ronda Rousey.
You were watching Total Divas?
Mista was.
Ooh,
and
Mista.
I didn't leave the room. Yeah.
On the mark.
Wrestling.
She should listen.
Podcast. She won't. But yeah, so getting to know her a little bit more. I know that she's a strong kicker. Her kick game is pretty strong. But,
decent offense.
Just not last night.
No, and it's smart booking. You're continuing to make Shayna Baszler look strong. She's been the champion since Nam, and nothing special. Like I said, Baszler just showing her dominance. It happened. It was there. It was okay.
Cool.
We move on to another thing where I'm like, okay, the Forgotten Sons are coming out, which I already am not liking. They're facing 2 guys from Evolve, and I'm turning the channel right away.
Yeah, I just turned my head. I had both screens going on the treadmill. So
you did the 2-for thing going again?
The worst part is when both of them go to the commercial. It doesn't happen often, but
hate
sometimes it's just me, my sweaty thoughts, and the treadmill. But
what were your thoughts on getting the Forgotten Sons in what was a squash match?
Muted it, turned up AEW, and I don't remember what I was watching at AEW. I don't know that I gave this 10 seconds.
What's the purpose here?
Well, and again, with my thought is with NXT, you're trying to build a brand. A squash match on a Raw makes somebody stronger. People know that guy, right?
Right.
The Viking Raiders can smash anybody, and it kind of makes sense. But putting a squash match to make these guys who aren't relatively known, I guess you do. That would be the way to build a character or a story. I just don't give a damn.
No, the Forgotten Sons need wins over people that matter.
Right.
Like, if you're going to give the Forgotten Sons a push, do it against people that matter. You're giving it. I'm not saying these Evolve guys are bad. I've never seen them wrestle. I mean, they took an interesting, I guess you can call it kind of a choke slam from Jackson Riker onto the apron. That was cool, but that's it.
All right.
I don't like it. Get that off my TV. I was watching college basketball instead. After that, Mia Yim would finally get her revenge on the new Dakota Kai, I guess we can call her. Rhea Ripley, Mia Yim. They virtually set up Dakota Kai this time. You know, it's usually the heels setting up the baby faces, but it was basically a trap. Mia would beat down Shayna because we would find out that Dakota Kai was the one who took out Mia Yim at War Games.
Yeah, came out and said it. I'm intrigued by this Dakota Kai character. We saw it live. Unexpected.
It was unexpected, but a little bit inside of me. Yes.
Right. Shocked but not surprised.
Saw me coming.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But holy crap, she got a good pop for that turn.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it mattered.
And it was
vicious.
It was aggressive, too. Right. The slams to the knee through the doorway. Like, when either of them wrestle, I don't know them very well, but I know they've had knee problems. And I'm like, you're risking it. And she's just happy on that door. Yeah.
How about the new Titantron with the sound effects? Did you notice that?
No.
On the Titantron, it shows Dakota beating down Tegan Knox.
Ooh.
And Tegan Knox is, like, crying in the background.
Oh.
Like, that is part of her entrance now. I think that is something we'd never see in professional wrestling.
I don't know.
It's a smart touch. I want to know who did that.
Yep.
Is that Triple H? Is that Shawn Michaels?
Wouldn't be surprised.
Because that's how you get heat right there, and just remind people why Dakota is what she is.
Yeah, kind of like when the Rangers come to town and they play the White Sox when Robin Ventura was the manager and they played the Nolan Ryan cutscene on the Jumbotron.
Okay, yeah, got to get that heat.
Or no, the White Sox went to Texas and Texas played on their Jumbotron with Robin Ventura in the dugout. Not good.
So you're in on Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
This heel stuff is working.
Do you own a woman's T-shirt?
No, well, yes. Ronda Rousey was the
Oh,
very
you do?
first one, and I thought about buying a Sasha back in the day, but
I have yet to buy one, and I don't know why, but I just don't own a women's
Are you thinking Dakota?
T-shirt. I don't know. I don't know.
The new look, it's doing it for me, man. I'm feeling me some Dakota Kai right now. She's doing very well so far with her heel run, but during this segment, we kind of had another side segment. The 3 horsewomen would then come out and attack Rhea Ripley, as would Shayna, of course. And after the beatdown and whatnot, Shayna would virtually just give Rhea Ripley a shot. What do you think about that?
I'm cool with it. I don't know that it's gonna. I think it's gonna be a great match. I don't know that it's gonna change hands. But do you have it change hands? Send Shayna on her way to the road to WrestleMania?
Well, this is the last live show before
18th,
2019. Right? Yeah, they are before 2020. They stated that this is going to be the last show because after that, the Wednesday is Christmas. They're not doing a live show on Christmas. So I wonder if they're going to do their year-end awards on Christmas. That's
cool.
what they're going to do. So you could vote on that one. I'm not going to. But I think this whole segment was just very good storytelling here in NXT because you're going with Yim and Kai, and you're also focusing on Shayna and Rhea, and you're building towards December 18th. They're making it seem like the last live show of 2019, you can't miss it.
I don't want to.
I don't think we're going to miss either of the show regardless. But,
No.
I mean, overall, solid segment. We're building. It's good. After that, Cassius Ohno shows up. Apparently, he's been hanging out in the UK. I haven't been paying much attention.
Yeah, I don't care.
So he rekindled his Matt Riddle's first feud when he came to NXT.
Yep.
Good match, back and forth. The backdrop that Cassius Ohno does, it looks like it hurts because he's a big boy.
He is not a little fella, I'll tell you that.
I think he keeps getting more and more round.
I know, but the tights they stay the same size.
You gotta love it. It's a look.
That would be me. Realistically, if I was a wrestler, give me long hair. That's me.
I mean, it works for him, I guess, because it was a good match. It was short. They have history. Riddle wins. Okay. Just basically giving Riddle a win here. What's next for Matt Riddle, though? I mean, like, what can you do with him?
He's in this funky spot. He just faced Finn, and they're pushing Keith Lee and Ciampa and Adam Cole. They have too many stars for 2 hours a week.
It's a problem. I mean, it's a good problem.
Oh, it's a great problem to have. Yeah, no
you
doubt.
have too much good talent. You'll figure it out. But maybe with Roderick Strong.
Yeah, put him somewhere in that area. Yep.
I mean, they got no offense to the Undisputed Era. They're great.
And Velveteen's not even around right now.
Yeah, and he's a star in his own.
No doubt.
When he's going. So crowded. And then we add another
and
star.
Johnny Gargano.
Yeah. No, and then we added Kushida,
Yeah.
who finally returned after 2 months. Kind of a new gimmick. We see that video package. Do you remember that?
The little,
Kind of just like him telling him about his family.
Oh, yeah. And he's got this little Back to the Future type look going. I'm cool with Kushida.
You like him?
Yeah.
I don't know much about him. I know he was successful in New Japan.
It was supposed to be a big get, right?
Yeah, they made a big deal when they got him. Very smooth in the ring, but he was supposed to have a match with Raul Mendoza. Cameron Grimes would come out and attack him, hit him with one move. He's out. See ya.
He gone.
So he's getting a match, Grimes versus Kushida. I think if this was given more time, this could have been a really great match because both guys are super unique and they have interesting styles that I think would make for a good match. But it was solid regardless. Kushida gets the win. What were your thoughts?
At the start of the match, I was like, ew. It looked the two separate, like, I thought there were two completely different types of guys. With
They
Cameron
kind of
Grimes
are.
and their gimmicks and their makeups and things like that. I didn't know how the match would run, but pretty good, entertained, very clean, you know.
And now it gets to the point where, what the hell do we do with Kushida?
Uh-huh.
We have so much talent. Maybe Kushida eventually goes after Leo Rush. Leo Rush,
Yeah.
NXT Cruiserweight Champion. He's feuding with Angel Garza, though. Like,
Yeah.
you think that'll be a match on December 18th?
We got a lot going on. This December 18th, NXT could turn into a little mini pay-per-view, though.
AEW is doing the same thing.
You got to.
I mean, they know what they're doing. They know that's their last live show of 2019. Got to go out with a bang.
Yep.
Got to leave a lasting impression. But the main event here on NXT was the Undisputed Era versus Ciampa, Lee, and Dijakovic. Basically a War Games rematch, I guess we can call it. Good six-man here. Who stood out to you the most, though? I want to see if we're on the same page here.
I didn't have one that jumped off the page to me because I was watching between the two.
Okay,
so I was focused on AEW at this point, knowing that NXT was going to run long too. So.
That's fair because you know you're not going to get that finish
right
before AEW gets their finish.
Correct.
So, for me, it was Dominik Dijakovic. I think he looked extra strong. I think in the middle of all this chaos, he was just dominating inside the ring, and I think this is a slow build with him. We're kind of throwing him into this feud. He's not really the main focus because you got Ciampa and you got Keith Lee. Yep. But he's holding his own. And I think that was his best in-ring match that he has had that wasn't a singles match.
Yeah, and now that you say that, it is kind of interesting the way that it shook out at the end of the night. William Regal comes out. Adam Cole, you will defend the title on the 18th at Mikey Wilson. Not War Games. Sorry.
War Games.
But a triple threat on the 11th between Ciampa, Lee, and Finn Balor.
Because Finn would get involved in this match. When the ref was knocked out, he would drop kick Cole. 1916 to Ciampa. Keith Lee would then lay out Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Keith Lee, once again, the guy looks strong. There's just no other way to put it. He's over. Doubt. He's over.
You're in on the Keith Lee train.
Oh, I'm all in on the Keith Lee.
Yeah.
So we got Keith Lee, Tommaso Ciampa, Finn Balor. One of them's got to win. Do you think there's going to be like a honky finish here where we maybe can get a triple threat at the next takeover in Portland? Or is there going to be a clear-cut winner here?
Well, this determines who Adam Cole faces. So
he faces in 2 weeks, actually.
Right.
So there probably will be a clear-cut winner here.
Yeah. There will be a clear-cut winner. He's not going to make it. They won't make it a four-way. I don't think they make it a triple threat.
Who you got? You want to do 3, 2, 1?
Yeah.
I'll do it. 3, 2, 1. Keith Lee. Oh, explain.
I think they're going to slow burn Keith Lee a little bit more. So I think something happens where Keith Lee doesn't get pinned. But
you think Finn's going to eat the pin?
I don't know.
I don't see Finn eating any pins here.
I don't know. I like to take risks in my guessing as well.
Hence Rey Mysterio.
Still owe you 2 ding dongs a drink. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't want him to strap the rocket to Keith Lee because is he going to beat Adam Cole?
No.
On the 18th?
I think it can be a Undisputed getting involved, and then we prolong this to something else.
I'm tired of that, man.
I mean, they're going to do it. They're heels. That's what happens. But I want somehow.
I bought their shirt, by the way.
Did you?
I did.
Well,
we talked about it.
Oh yeah, that's true. I think eventually we're leading to either a triple threat or a fatal 4-way at the next takeover.
Portland, Oregon. First pitch will be at 6 p.m. our time.
There's just so much talent, so why not just give them a fatal 4-way?
Is there a show is there a WWE pay-per-view the next day?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
We cannot confirm. If anything, it would be Elimination Chamber, Fastlane. I don't know. We will have to look into that, but it's an interesting time for a takeover if there isn't an event going on, but I'm going to go with Keith Lee here. Face him at December 18th.
Cool for them being in Portland, though. Portland's weird.
It's an interesting place to set up a show for sure, but let's transition over to AEW. They start off their show with some 6-man tag action. Dustin Rhodes and the Young Bucks versus Sammy Guevara, Santana, and Ortiz, a.k.a. the Inner Circle. There's one guy that stood out for me here once again. I think you might be on the same page with me on this one.
Dusty Rhodes.
Yes.
Dustin
looked very strong for a guy his age. Like, very, very smooth.
Dude, this whole match, they put the pedal down and got going. Yeah, it was a great opening match. There was some story. Dustin Rhodes showed some humor spots, some funnier type spots where AEW will take risks like that a little bit more than be just a serious
They have more freedom.
wrestling. Yeah. I thought it was a good match. The Sammy spot with the phone was kind of funny.
I enjoyed it.
I want to see what that video ends up
On his vlog
like.
on YouTube.
Yeah, so he's building his brand. I don't know that he's a young Eddie Guerrero like some people claim. But
No, and they're not doing him any favors because he gets a lot of losses on AEW.
Right, yeah.
Sammy Guevara hasn't got a big win, but I do think everybody played to their gimmick well. Even Santana and Ortiz, they got the loaded sock out.
Yep.
They hit Dustin with it. And, they're bad guys. They're quote-unquote thugs. That's what they're going to do. They're going to get under your skin. And Sammy doing the vlogging thing, that's his character. He's that vlogging guy, that cocky Spanish god. And that spot, like you said, with him getting super kicked, it's getting criticism like, what was Sammy going for? If you don't see before that, I think it was Matt Jackson was laying down. They just got up and super kicked him. But
right.
I thought that was very cool, very innovative, very AEW thing to do. You could tell that spot was planned.
Spotty. Mm-hmm.
But real fun, good story progression. And I think I'm going to give it I'm going to say it was a great match to kick off Dynamite.
Yeah. 100%. I've got nothing else aside from awkward throat noises.
Say something bad about that match.
You won't.
Exactly. I can't do it. But after that, we would get Trent versus Rey Fenix. Kind of the reason we're getting this one is because Trent pinned Rey in tag action last week, which we were in attendance for, like we said, which was that kind of pissed me off too. Like Trent's the best friends are beating the Lucha Bros. Come on.
Yeah. Again, Lucha Bros beat the Young Bucks All Out in one of the best matches I've ever seen live, and now they're losing to the Best Friends. But interesting take with Trent taking the pin here. I thought they were going to start building him up a little bit.
With Trent?
Yeah, he's been on a little bit.
Good wins.
He's had some momentum, and then he takes this one here. So I don't know what their plan is with the momentum, but good match. I was fine with it.
I think Rey also has great momentum. He's kind of shining more over Pentagon Jr. right now.
Yeah.
I think this match had a lot of counters. It was balanced. Each star was able to showcase their own talents, which is good. And for me, it's more of Rey Fenix. I think they see something in him. I think eventually the Lucha Bros, it's always going to be a thing. Like, they're always going to have each other's backs. But I wouldn't be surprised if either of them go on a singles push. He hits the Muscle Buster for a win here. Like you said, good match.
Yeah.
And it's kind of they're very, very confident with the Lucha Bros, it seems, because they always get TV time. They're also giving the Best Friends TV time. A lot of the same guys seem to be getting on Dynamite. I don't know if you've been picking up on that.
Is there, it begs the question, is the roster too thin? I don't know. They have a wealth of names, but you see a lot of the same ones pop up. Nakazawa's non-existent.
Sean Spears. No Kenny this week.
Right. So it's like, the thing that makes me nervous about AEW is talent acquisition in the long term, because WWE has the pockets to swoop guys up.
They can stock them
for 5 years, you know, and actually get them relatively cheap, because any guy you pull off the indies, you throw them a little bit of money and they're like, I'm in.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll see. It is a good time to be a wrestling fan, but that is another one of my things to watch out for is the roster as a whole, because they do only have 2 hours a week, but we see a lot of the same people over and over again. The Lucha Bros have popped up, but they haven't built any kind of origin story or anything.
Kind of all over the place, aren't they?
We know they're good. They're kind of positioning them as heels, but then they're always doing the Cero Miedo.
Yeah, getting the crowd involved,
trying to get the people on their side. So it is
it's a weird spot,
a weird stance. Not bad, interesting.
I don't know if this is a problem. I'm not going to call it a problem. I don't think their roster's thin. I think they have enough talent to sustain themselves. I don't think they have enough TV time. I think Dark needs to become its own entity, kind of like a second brand.
Yeah,
kind of like what WWE has going on with multiple brands. I think eventually that might be the thing. They kind of need like a developmental or something like that, and Dark could be that for them.
You have AEW and MEW. All elite and mostly elite.
If that happens,
on elite wrestling, yeah.
If that happens, we know Cody.
Yeah,
you're listening. Speaking of Cody, he delivered another fantastic promo, and just the storytelling that he's able to convey in words, it's beautiful.
He spends time. It's not a rah rah pump up speech. He has layers to everything he says. he has a cork board in front of him with pictures in the strings, like an investigator trying to solve a murder. And he does such a good job with that. So anytime he's on, the volume goes up, and you don't want to miss
full
it.
attention.
Yeah.
The dude grabs your attention. That's when you know you have a star.
Yeah, more attention. And he's got this weird – he's in this interesting spot now where he's playing the everyman but rich guy too. So he's like flexing, but he's a face – and you're still behind him because of what he's going through and went through. And
it's just because everybody knows he's the reason AEW is kind of a thing. And they're like,
doubt.
No, thank you, man. You're our Lord and Savior. But kind of like you were talking about, he was referencing things that happened in the past, his scars that happened, the battles from MJF, what happened when the Blade and the Butcher attacked him last week. But he spent most of his time focusing on MJF because that's kind of the main story that he is in, amongst other stories. Like, this guy is so talented, he's able to reference multiple storylines in one single promo.
Yeah, we saw the Butcher and the Blade make their...
We were like, who?
And find out the chick was Allie.
Yeah, we
Didn't
know her.
That. Found that on
the
way
bunny.
Home. Yeah. And so that'll be cool, I guess. Andy Williams is a guitarist in a band that I was interested in growing up.
Really?
In high school and college, every time I got down to them. Not anymore.
Can't
it's
tell
a little
you. I've
loud.
never heard of them.
They're loud, yeah.
Okay.
But so that's cool. We'll see. I think he's got this little short-term Butcher and Blade thing for him, and then he also has that long-term MJF build-up. So
yes, you nailed it.
Yeah. Kind of a double-layered stretch, which a lot of times you see short sprinted programs with on the WWE side. And NXT says it's a marathon, not a sprint, and they will burn a few, but a lot of interest in the multi-layer kind of progression that he's going to get through here.
You nailed that point. That's exactly what this Blade and the Butcher thing is. They don't really have a big show for probably a month or two. I think they might be building to Bash at the Beach. I think that might be where we see Cody versus MJF, if not whatever their next technical pay-per-view is going to be.
Right.
So he needs something to get him by until then, and that's where the Blade and the Butcher
and
come
he's also got this interesting layer where he can't challenge for a title, but he could still be in the rankings, and we'll see. That's got to come off, right?
Yeah.
Somebody wins the title and demands that Cody
Something's
faces
gonna
him or
happen.
something like that. Yeah, we'll see.
You can't keep Cody the way he's performing out of the title scene. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and Matt from the Young Bucks responded to someone on Twitter when they asked about the rankings and the records, and he says the records are going to reset.
What,
So,
at the end of the year?
Yeah, like yearly, so you don't get So like after the first of the year, the records are going to reset, and you're going to kind of.
I like that. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. So
Well, I mean, what are you going to do when a guy's like 8 matches under 500 or whatever?
We'll get there. There's a guy that's 8 games under 500 that we're going to talk about, but something that's not under 500. She's actually over 500 now. Nyla Rose. She faced off against the librarian Leva Bates. This is another squash for Nyla. Post-match beatdown as well. She's the heel. We're going to get some heat on her, get her a win. Shanna would come out after, though, for the save, but it wasn't enough to defeat Nyla Rose.
A bright flame that shined for a brief moment.
She got a pop,
Yeah.
which was nice.
You got a touch of offense hit, and then, Nyla was like, nah, man.
They're doing a good job at, I wouldn't say rebuilding because Nyla wasn't really out of it, but they are kind of rebuilding.
Reestablishing.
That's the word. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. So she looks strong. She put Shanna through a table. I mean, like I said, squash match, strong, Nyla Rose, boom, segment, move on. And then we move on to something that was very entertaining. Anything where La Champion comes out there, it's just awesome to watch what he's doing right now. He basically would just say that his contract says that there needs to be one more title defense. Now, he compiled his own lexicon.
Yes,
Is that what he called it?
The lexicon of Le Champion.
Not a list. Let's just put that out there.
LLC, yes.
LLC. It's not a list because you just made the list.
Yes,
That's WWE. But I love how he was reading off of that lexicon. He was just saying random ass names, and then he would throw Moxley in there.
Poking people. Dude, fat, chubby guy munching on the pop.
Moxley.
Fifth row. Moxley. Dinosaurs. Moxley. It was funny.
Jericho is just so great. And you can't really tell me that there's, other than maybe Keith Lee, a better wrestler right now going in professional wrestling because everything he's touching is turning into gold. This was a great segment.
Bro, he mentioned they sold 1,000 bottles of a little bit of the bubbly.
Little bit of the bubbly.
I did buy a shirt.
Oh, a Jericho shirt?
A little bit of the bubbly shirt. Got that at Black Friday.
We got a little bit of the bubbly right here. A
little 14 hands.
14 hand Chardonnay. Free
a lot
plug.
of hands, by the way.
That is a lot of hands.
Yeah.
It's probably how many hands are going to get these hands one day. You
Oh,
never know.
okay.
Watch out, everyone. If we don't win the podcast awards,
Oh, we're coming.
14 hands are coming for
Showing
you.
up, cutting promos.
Yeah, that was my mini promo right there. It was absolutely terrible, but this segment wasn't, because we would get the Jurassic Express, which the crowd loves the Jurassic Express.
Yes, I agree, and I do too. When Luchasaurus began speaking,
that kind of sounded like an essay where you're like younger and you had to write down words. Yes, I agree, or a discussion board in college.
And me too. What he said.
Go on.
Hearing Luchasaurus talk, the voice doesn't match the body, in my opinion.
No, but he's a very witty guy.
He is, yeah. Very, very well educated. Kind of poked fun at the fact, like, Jericho said he wasn't going to fight dinosaurs,
right?
And I have a master's degree, and so cool.
Yeah. So they confronted him and Hager, because Hager was there, because he just kind of stands there like Brock Lesnar. That's virtually what Jake Hager provides.
Yeah, he's a big, yeah.
So Jungle Boy would answer the call, though, for December 18th. So we get a very solid, entertaining, funny segment with Jericho and the Jurassic Express. But after that, I'm like, why is Jungle Boy getting this opportunity?
Interesting to me as well. He's 0-8. On the 18th, if I have to pick a title match to watch, Adam Cole versus one of those three, or Jericho versus the Jungle Boy.
It's Adam Cole versus Keith Lee, Adam Cole versus Finn Balor, Adam Cole versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Adam Cole versus the empty chair.
Adam Cole versus Mauro Ranallo.
Adam Cole versus the War Games cage.
Adam Cole versus Mikey Wilson.
I would watch. Yes,
Adam Cole would super kick the shit out of Mikey right in the face.
Yes.
But like you said, Jungle Boy 0-8, 0-1 in singles competition. I think the main reason behind this is the way they were pushing this is Jericho was picking his opponent.
To try to almost make it like a
layup.
Yeah,
he wanted a layup, and record wise, that makes sense with Jungle Boy. But it's just like, if you want to make somebody look credible and you're saying that wins and losses matter, why is a guy that's 0-8 getting a title match?
Agreed.
It's questionable, but I get it if Jericho's picking, but we know Jericho's not actually picking because somebody wrote the script.
And they're going to, Jungle Boy's going to show out well, and Jericho will get him over.
It's going to be like what Ray was doing with Brock.
Yep.
He'll have his moment where you're like, oh my God, it's going to happen. No.
Yep.
It's not going to happen. So
it better not.
If Jungle Boy beats Chris Jericho on December 18th, I will give up my spot on this podcast.
Oh,
I
got to call some writers.
So call it in right there for sure.
Does AEW need a middle title?
Yes.
I think so. I don't know what you call it. The middleweight championship or something like that. I don't know. Can they call it the Intercontinental Championship?
No, you can't do that. I mean, obviously they'd come up with a name. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I do think it would benefit because guys like Joey Janela, guys like Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Sean Spears.
There's a ton of guys that are hanging out, floating in the pool. That
Kenny Omega.
People
What's
forget.
Kenny doing?
I know. I got one of his shirts too.
Oh man, poor Kenny. Not really. He's still one of the best wrestlers in the world. But
I know.
After that, we'd get another women's match: Chris Statlander versus Hikaru Shida. We've seen Shida before, but Statlander is relatively new. She gets a convincing win over Shida, which kind of surprised me. I don't know about you.
Well, Shida's been booked strong lately too, so it shows you how much they think about Chris Statlander. And it was a good match.
Yeah, and I think Shida played the underdog role well. I didn't think when watching it that she would be the underdog in the match, but she definitely played that role in here because Chris is kind of a bigger woman, stronger woman, towers over Shida. She gets a good win here. That definitely puts her on the map for sure in the women's division. But afterwards, Brandy Rhodes, Awesome Kong, they would come out to see if Statlander would want to join the Nightmare Collective.
Yes. Made their kind of sales pitch, kind of, reminiscent of the Dark Order type thing.
Yeah, kind of.
But that's a no from Chris Statlander, dog.
It's going to be a no for her, dog. But after that, after she would say no, a random person in the crowd, I'm assuming it was stage, an actor.
Sporting a Cody shirt.
Makes sense. Joining the Nightmare Collective.
Yes.
She would virtually join and pledge the Nightmare Collective, they would take a piece of her hair, going along with the character. It's weird. It's innovative. It's something that I'm not sold on yet.
No, I need to see a little bit more. I understand again, we've talked about this, the token piece of Awesome Kong.
Yeah, that's cool.
Getting her tokens, cool.
Any thoughts on Statlander, or is it too early to kind of...
Too early for me. I like her so far. No attachment. I need a little bit more story.
She's going to need...
behind her.
Yeah.
But, yeah, cool.
More character work on her.
It could definitely bolster that women's division that is a little bit depleted.
Yeah. And we saw Britt Baker. She had the same reaction she did at NXT. That was kind of funny.
And it was funny because they kind of pointed a jab, right? That's Adam Cole's girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, AEW, WWE lives rent-free in their heads. Like, they will reference WWE whenever they get the chance.
Something. They did it a couple times.
When Nyla put Shanna through the table, I think they referenced something to WWE. I'm like, guys, if you're really trying to compete, why would you mention the people you're competing with?
Yeah, no doubt.
It don't make sense. But the segment made sense. Whatever. We get Christopher Daniels, part of SCU, versus Pentagon Jr., who is part of the Lucha Bros. It's a feud that's kind of going on here, SCU and the Lucha Bros. It's a quiet one, but it's there. Nothing great here. I think this one kind of fell short for me.
Yeah, this was kind of my last match of the night. I even like Statlander and Sheeta ahead of this one. It happened. All right.
I wanted more. And these are two veterans. I mean, they know what they're doing. And Christopher Daniels, why is he having a match with Pentagon? He's not technically even the tag champion. It's Scorpio Sky and Kazarian.
Right.
So, I mean, there's really just not much to say.
It happened.
I'm trying to find words, but I can't. And Ray Phoenix would come out, distract Pentagon, low blow. So, once again, heelish things from the Lucha Bros, followed by the pile driver for the win. It happened, like you said, which then would lead us to the main event, Joey Janela versus Jon Moxley. This was a Fyter Fest rematch, so that match technically wasn't a part of AEW because they didn't start yet on the weekly television. But match, for me, it felt rushed. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no doubt. Running up against the clock with NXT, you're not so certain when it's going to end because you know that they'll run over.
9:08-ish is where they say they'll end.
Right, and you're looking at the clock and, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and I wish they would have had a little bit more time. I do like Joey Janela.
Yeah, you got a shirt, don't you?
Yeah, no, that's the next one to buy. I didn't buy it on Black Friday. I ended up getting Omega and Chris Jericho at Hot Topic for $12 a piece.
You should have told me what shirts were there. I would have bought one.
I got one for Vogus. Vogus hit me up.
All right, thanks, dude.
Got him a Jon Moxley shirt.
Appreciate it, man. All right, cool. Well, yeah, Vogus was 2 feet away from Jon Moxley on Wednesday.
No doubt. Yeah.
You got a picture, so make sure you're following him at Ryan_Vogus. I think that's your handle. And
yeah.
I've given you like 3 shout-outs, Vogus, so don't be mad at me. We're putting you over.
We are putting him over.
You're getting the rub, so.
Yes.
But this match was still good. I think the dive into the timekeeper's area was a nice little touch.
The camera work on that too had me do a little bit of a jump because it was not an offshoot where you could see him jump off. It was
jumping into your living room.
Yes,
that's what it felt like.
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
Like I didn't even think about that until now. So nice little analysis there from you. But yeah, that was a nice touch because Joey's known as this hardcore guy. So is Mox, and you got to have a kind of spot like that.
Yep,
makes sense. The paradigm shift though from Moxley off the top rope. Very innovative way to use his finisher. That would get him the victory. He's still undefeated in AEW, Tuck. People are forgetting.
Looking long, strong, ready to get the friction on.
After that, Jericho would come out in the crowd, kind of a stare down, because we know that is happening in the near future. But a lot of criticism on this feud maybe being rushed. Do you think the Moxley-Jericho thing is rushed since they're kind of WWE guys?
I don't think so. I don't care.
Really?
Nope. I think they both solidified themselves as AEW gentlemen. It does nothing for me. If it's a good story, if they slow burn it a little bit longer, the next pay-per-view, which is still unannounced, which is a little weird.
It is.
We'll see, yeah.
I kind of agree with you. I get the point of it being rushed, but...
Leo Rush?
Leo Rush.
Yeah.
But I like your point of how you said I view them as AEW guys, because now I used to call Moxley Ambrose. Like if I were talking about what he was doing in AEW, I'd say Ambrose because that's all I've known. But he's Moxley now.
Mm-hmm.
This character is working in AEW. They're their own thing. They've, reinvented themselves in other companies. So that's going to be a cool feud. That has been going on over the past couple weeks. But like always, we got to ask the question, who wins this week? Going into this week, it was 6-3 NXT. Where is our half vote going this week?
On the countdown?
You're doing it?
Yep. 3, 2, 1.
AEW.
Easy.
I think it was very easy this week.
The last match on NXT was good.
It was.
They're both solid shows.
They were.
They don't leave you disappointed, but AEW had more spots. And again, NXT might have had more matches. They might have had more wrestling. I don't have a tab on it, but the Cody Rhodes spot, the Jericho spot,
the promo
last
work
match, the first match, there was a lot of I just kept myself looking
introducing
over
a new
TV.
women.
Yeah. So I'm good with it.
Yeah, totally agree. I don't even think this one was close. You can't even make a case for NXT. Tell me one outstanding thing that happened from NXT.
Aside from the fact that we learned that the 18th is going to be popping.
I mean, so is next week. The main event is that triple threat.
Yeah.
So that's cool, but AEW just had more moments that shined.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm telling you, if you're telling me NXT won this week, it's going to be hard for me to say. So after all that, we still haven't differed 1 week.
I know.
We've been on the same page. We've been on the mark.
And the ratings were tighter than ever.
6,000 people.
6,000 people. That's a high school around here. It's not.
That's like Crown Point.
Right. It's 1.5 Crown Points or whatever for the whole country. 6,000 people over 50 states.
I think it speaks volumes on how good both shows are.
I agree. I do think it showed AEW's resilience in bouncing back from the slow week before. But again,
slow 2 weeks.
You got to throw that. You got to throw that out a little bit with that Thanksgiving show, travel, this, that. But,
yeah.
It's a good time to be a wrestling fan. The viewership says it's closer than ever this week in regards to the show. I didn't think it was that close.
AEW, man, I'm proud of them this week. I think they needed this week back.
Yeah.
Because if NXT outshines them once again, in our opinions, it's 7-3 in the scoreboard, I'm going to start to, be like, I'll put AEW in the back burner. But now I'm back in. I'm like, all right, you guys showed that after a subpar show, you can have a good one.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at, 6-4.
It was a good crowd in Champaign, too, at University of Illinois.
Smaller venue, which I think is better for them.
Was bigger than the Sears Center.
Is it?
It
looks volume-wise smaller.
I looked it up. It holds 4,000 more than the Sears Center, dude. It's right between the Sears Center and the Allstate, $15,000.
Sears was kind of longer.
It was like higher pitched.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
we were kind of looking
up.
straight down. Yeah,
which was a good seat.
It's fine. Yeah,
I don't mind the.
You weren't dealing with the tall trees in front of you like you do at the Allstate. But
I almost fell in the Sears Center. And I had a little bit of the bubbly beforehand, but Four Loko,
a little bit of the loco.
Yeah,
but
it was good for Loco.
Yeah, so going into next week, I feel like my attention will be a little bit more towards NXT towards the end on that. I'm really excited for that main event, but AEW is going to put together a good card. I don't know where they're at.
I'm trying to think if there's anything announced. I know that 18th we're getting Jericho and Jungle Boy. You got to think. I mean, Kenny needs a match. Cody. When's the last time Cody had a match on Dynamite? Like we need Cody to get in the ring.
He had the jobber match with us.
Oh yeah, that's true. I see. I'm telling you,
the Butcher and the Blade.
I forgot about our Dynamite that we were in attendance for. That's just how subpar it was for me.
Yeah, I know.
All right, we got to touch on Raw and SmackDown. We just got to keep everybody up with modern wrestling. Now, when we say SmackDown, we're talking about last week's. You might be listening to this on the Friday where there's a brand new one coming out. So this is last week's SmackDown. Bray Wyatt introduced a brand new Universal title. What are your thoughts on the look?
Kind of weird. I don't know why the title they're like so about that mask. You know what I mean?
It's a selling point.
He's the hottest merchandise right now in the company.
Vince loves that.
But I don't know the face on it.
Did you listen to After the Bell with Corey Graves?
This week's?
Yeah.
No, nope.
He commented on he doesn't like the fact that people are customizing belts because it kind of takes away from the history. I kind of agree with him here.
I agree.
It's gimmicky.
I like that your side plate can become yours. You know, I like that part of it.
That's your personal touch.
That's your thing, right? But like, I don't. The Daniel Bryan hemp wood belt, didn't need it.
I did like that one though for some reason. I don't know why. I liked it
because it was new.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
You gonna buy one?
Nope.
$6,500. You don't have that?
That's like 5 mortgage payments, bro. I ain't about that.
That's like money I don't have. I don't even want to think about money right now.
If you had $6,500, you'd put it somewhere else. I'm not.
I think Graves said it. Once again, I got to credit him. He's like, even if you have money and you buy that, you're gonna have some explaining to do to your wife.
Bro, what kind? That's not even. It's not even a shiny like.
It's
those replica titles that they carry around at shows. That's kind of a flex. That's a nice belt.
Right.
You're walking around. That's like supposed to be handmade, I guess. But
yeah,
whatever.
it was cool, but I don't think we needed it. Only thing I really had to note from that SmackDown, and if you have anything that comes to mind, let me know, is the ending. And that was once again with The Fiend, Daniel Bryan, ending it by dragging him under the ring. And we saw pieces of his hair. Was that his beard? Was that his head? What direction is this going?
Yeah, so The Fiend also they teased the whole show that he was going to be introducing a new character. And I think if you were anywhere I was Liv Morgan was going to pop out of somewhere. But I think that might be the new character, this Daniel Bryan.
Is that tomorrow?
Thing. I hope.
They're really milking it. That's for sure. But I like this touch to the feud.
Well, and it gives it some legs too. I'm glad that they're not just going on to somebody else. It was a good match. The next one will be even better, probably. I don't know. The Fiend's going to have to create himself again to defeat him because Daniel Bryan's a smart wrestler. He's got it. He'll know how to counter some of his tactics.
Their Survivor Series match was pretty good too. I
thought it was good. The Red can go to hell, but
crowd was dead, kind of,
right,
for a little bit of it.
The Red stinks.
No, that's what it is. The Red stinks.
It doesn't help.
People want to get rid of it, but I think the hair thing is compelling. That's something I want to tune into SmackDown for tomorrow. And I think I like the fact that everything that the Fiend touches is kind of changing the character. Like Seth Rollins, he beat him. Seth Rollins is bad now. Daniel Bryan's changing a little bit too. Every person that Bray's been facing is changing of the attitude, which I like. I think the character work with the Fiend once again has been phenomenal. The feud with Daniel Bryan, let's stretch this to Mania. I don't know about you.
I'm good with it right now. I don't need to see anything else. I'm very content with where that's at. I'm good.
Anything else from SmackDown that you can note?
SmackDown, nope.
Yeah, that's how it was. I know Roman got a win over Robert Roode. That happened.
Congrats.
So, Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins would kick things off, calling out Kevin Owens to the ring. KO basically wasn't buying that apology that he made the week before that. And he also wasn't buying the fact that AOP isn't working with Rollins. And AOP, of course, is interrupting this, asking for a match against those two, Rollins and Kevin Owens. And, of course, KO's not going to trust a guy like Seth Rollins after all that he's done.
Yeah, he's like, there's only going to be 3 outcomes, and I think they all end up with you beating my ass, so I'm out.
I tweeted this at Too Sweet Kyle. Too sweet.
Wee!
There it is. I think Kevin Owens is probably the biggest babyface right now on Raw.
Yeah, they needed one in a bad way. And we're big KO guys, so
we're a KO podcast.
Stun Owens stun, yeah.
One of these days, we're going to have to try to get him on the podcast, and our selling point is, hey, we met you.
Like, we're basically friends.
We're putting you over right now, Kevin. Like,
come on, yeah.
We're bros. Fight Owens, fight. But yeah, KO wasn't trusting Rollins, so Rollins would go to the back, which would then lead to KO calling out anyone for a match. This theme seems like we're going with the Kevin Owens-Rollins feud.
Yep.
Are you in on this?
I'm cool with it.
And I think it makes sense because both guys really didn't have anything after all that.
Right.
So you can keep doing the slow burn with Rollins because that's what's going on here. He's obviously going heel. Do you think AOP is a part of Seth Rollins?
Nope.
You don't?
Nope.
Really?
I think AOP is trying to find their footing. I don't think they're backed by. I don't think it's going to become a faction. I don't know.
I'm going to go with yes.
Okay.
It would be coincidence that all these things are happening. I think you got to connect the dots somehow, and I think Rollins is playing puppeteer behind the scenes.
Yeah.
He needs a new Shield. And I saw that they are still keeping that Shield trademark. So maybe they actually will name it the Shield again, like Shield 2.0.
Oh.
I don't know if that's the direction you want to go, but if you remember AOP when they debuted, they wore Kevlar.
Right. They were big. Yeah.
They're SWAT guys. It's basically what the Texans
Drake
look
Maverick
like.
did too. He looked like a child.
Well, yeah, Drake could be a part of the new Shield. I didn't think about that. But yeah, so that's something to keep an eye on too, which I do like. It gives a Raw purpose because other than that, why else would you tune in the Raw? Again, never mind. United States Championship is kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Well, and then you know.
Women's tag too?
Lana and Rusev, big deal.
The feud's growing on me, Tuck.
I hate it a tiny bit less each time, I guess.
It's entertaining.
Lana's wardrobe.
Oh, my God. So Vogus Snapchatted me. He's like, those are there. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
They're there. And Aaron texted me at the same time.
Jesus Christ.
Lana's letting it show. I mean, she's got a new boyfriend, Bobby Lashley, who would face off against Kevin Owens. Lashley. Shout out my guy, Leo Rush.
Yes.
Funny back and forth, though, between Lana and Kevin. Kevin wasn't having it.
Yeah, Lana looked good on the mic there. I liked how they were interrupting each other, and KO, again, also comes across as genuine, that kind of his personality.
Like, he doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
That's his personality.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember any of Vicky Guerrero's stuff. Lana might be that new Vicky Guerrero, that annoying female mouthpiece that is going to get heat.
At least
and it works.
Yeah, at least she's there. 'Cause 6 months ago, they weren't doing anything.
Yeah,
so.
I think she could be a valuable piece on the mic. Let's just not put her in the wrestling ring because that's not good.
Yeah.
Owens, though, would get the win via the DQ because AOP would attack him. This is another reason why I think AOP is working with Rollins, because why on earth would AOP attack Kevin Owens here?
That's a good point.
Yeah. Boom, roasted.
Yeah.
So AOP working with Rollins confirmed? Question mark? Exclamation point? I hope so. I think Rollins could use that. He needs something.
It is something different, yeah.
Because he's kind of just been floating, doing the Brock Lesnar thing. Now what? Give him something. Give him some bodies and let him be that jackass that he's good at playing.
Yep.
Agreed?
I'm good with it.
All right. We got a handicap match here. Charlotte Flair versus the Kabuki Warriors, the women's tag team champions. Do you like what they're doing right now with Charlotte Flair?
I am okay with it. She's a little bit more prevalent. She's not like thrust at the top of the women's division, fighting for every title, kind of being forced down our throats. I like watching her every time she's in the ring. She puts on a good match, 90% of the time. You don't.
I hate it. And I've said it before, Charlotte's the GOAT. There's not a better female wrestler. You could maybe say Trish Stratus and Lita. But after that,
different, right, though?
Charlotte's just an athlete.
Yeah.
And her and Becky, too, being a part of this tag scene, it doesn't need to be a thing. Let Becky and Charlotte have their own singles thing. That's where they succeed. The Kabuki Warriors could be feuding with the Iconics right now, Fire and Desire, Nikki Cross and Bliss, which they have done, but Alexa Bliss is back now in the ring.
Yep.
You don't need two of your biggest female single stars to be in the tag division. It's just not a thing you need.
Yeah.
I mean, Charlotte Flair, and I'm not discrediting Asuka and Kairi. They don't need to be having these matches.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, what did you think of the handicap match?
It was better than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little less entertaining, but good spots.
Yeah, and Charlotte looked strong. I mean, it's hard to defeat two people, which she didn't. Asuka and Kairi would get the win. Kabuki Warriors, I think I'm becoming a big fan of them.
I like them. I've liked them since Paige, really, because Asuka got something going. Asuka was one of the first women when I started she was in the middle of her streak still, and I really got behind her. So I just like watching her wrestle. I still have no idea how that mask stays on her face the whole time.
Right? Yeah.
She gets all the way up to the turnbuckle. It's this little mask.
Slowly
I'm gonna figure it. Yeah,
you'll figure it out one of these days.
Trying to figure it out.
I think they're also proving they don't need a mouthpiece like Paige. Like,
no,
this annoying. We're just gonna speak in Japanese because we're heels and we're gonna laugh.
Cool. All right.
It's catty and it works.
Whatever. Get down.
Kabuki Warriors are over. So, but like we said, and I think it was last episode, I think we're leading towards a tag team championship match with Charlotte and Becky at TLC with the Kabuki Warriors. So,
yeah.
I mean, what do you do with Becky? Shayna Baszler. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. But other than that, Raw had a lot of squash matches. It was kind of just, hitting the reset button a little bit after Survivor Series, which I get. Did you enjoy Raw, or was it just there?
I was actually fine with it. the squash matches start establishing people that they need to establish. There's a lot of gray area on the Raw side still, so they're starting to establish a few other people. I actually think they're trying to establish too many right now. Pick 2, push the hell out of them, and see how it sticks. I think they're throwing a lot at the wall and trying to figure out what sticks.
Right. McIntyre kind of got thrown out there.
Yeah.
Against Akira Tozawa. Made him look good.
McIntyre.
Stare down with Randy.
Ricochet. Carrillo's getting that bump a little bit. Randy Orton's in there.
Mysterio.
There's a Mysterio.
OC.
So there's this little middle area where they've got a lot of people. I think your card is best when you're spending all night waiting for that last match and it's just a banger. And I think right now, if you built a pay-per-view, not TLC, but a stronger pay-per-view, you'd have a lot of good middle matches, but I'm not pulled to any one of these guys because I'm still deciding on
what's
many
going
of
on.
these guys.
Yeah, because there's a lot going on. And I think it's all kind of centered around the U.S. title. They're all kind of in that bubble right now, which I think is good because with Brock not being on the show often, we're going back to old Brock where he doesn't show up, which here we go again. I'm starting to get pissed at Brock.
I know it.
I liked him, and then here we go again with this part-time shit, but the U.S. title, they're making it look important, which is why we had this main event. Rey Mysterio, the U.S. champ.
Yeah.
Humberto Carrillo, Ricochet versus the OC. I thought it was a good main event.
Yeah. Again, I don't get too smitten when I see a 6-man at the end of the night.
The typical Raw SmackDown move.
I don't. It's like whatever. I was far more inclined to watch the 6-man on NXT because of the names and the power, but it stood up. It was a good match. The thing that did concern me about last Raw was the Raw coming up as the go home show, and we got nothing. We don't really have anything set up. They weren't afraid of that with Hell in a Cell. You got like 90% of the card.
We had 3 matches.
Our Hell in a Cell preview was like 7 minutes long.
Yeah, you could have tuned in and tuned out right away.
Right.
What were your thoughts on Ray winning last week? Because we didn't get the chance to talk about it over AJ Styles.
I thought it was sweet.
I mean, you were there, so
yeah, it was
pop.
cool. Oh yeah. And I watched. I cut out and got in line for some nachos. And I refuse to be the guy that I try not to be the guy that runs down the aisle in the middle of the match. I thought it was going to be a good one.
Nobody likes that guy.
Stood up, unobstructed view. Stood up, slamming my nachos. It was a great match, good pop, and it was good to see a title change on TV.
What do you think of Randy getting involved in that for the win?
I'm cool with it. I don't know what to think of him, but I was okay with it.
I don't trust Randy. It's just Randy Orton.
Yeah.
You know the name. You know what he does. But I think it was a nice touch. And I think AJ wasn't doing anything outstanding with the U.S. title, so let Ray run with it. See what happens. But I really want, since we're putting all these guys in that picture, give him a TLC match. All of them.
Yeah.
Randy, Humberto, Ray, AJ. I don't even care. Gallows and Anderson can get involved.
Yeah.
Let's have a ladder match. Let's have chaos. Let it main event TLC.
Sure.
Why not?
Well, and with that pay-per-view, with it being the U.S. title, you don't need every single strap to be defended and all that kind of stuff because you're setting yourself up for Royal Rumble.
Because we know Brock's not going to be there.
No,
the Fiend will probably face Daniel Bryan again.
Sure,
that's going to happen. But other than that, what else do we got? What's Nakamura doing?
Right.
I mean, come on. Let's just throw them all, have fun. TLC matches can be good, especially when there's multi-men in there. But the main event on Raw, I thought was really fun. The baby faces were able to shine, but the heels were able to come on top at the end. Classic storytelling right there. Randy would RKO Styles after. Once again, kind of going back to your point, a little confusion. Like, who's feuding with who?
Right. Yeah. In regards to the pay-per-view layout, we've got Royal Rumble in January announced. Portland takeover in February on the 16th. There is
nothing on the 17th.
Nothing. The next WWE event is early March 8th. They might Elimination Chamber.
Oh, the Chamber's in March.
Yep. And
they usually do that in February, I believe. The Chamber.
Takeover Tampa. WrestleMania.
Wow. Okay, so there's none of those like filler Great Balls of Fire Fastlane pay-per-views.
Yeah, they don't.
Good.
they won't pop something in February right now, will they?
No, especially with I think they're going to put a lot of attention on that takeover.
Yeah.
It's going to be a selling point for sure.
Then you get the Elimination Chamber March 8th. And then April, you've got TakeOver and Mania. And then you have nothing for May, June, or July announced as of yet.
Which
something
I'm sure,
at the Allstate?
Well, they're doing SmackDown. But yeah, they're going to do another winter thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if TLC comes.
You going to that?
I'd go to it.
I'd probably go to that.
I mean,
would
if it's a
they do the
pay-per-view in
whole
Chicago.
weekend, I'm not going to. Yeah.
I'll tell you this. Either put a WrestleMania in Indy. I know we've said this before. Get the Royal Rumble in Chicago.
Why not?
The Royal Rumble is a huge event. Everybody loves it. And Chicago would have great pops. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm tired of Chicago getting these secondhand pay-per-views like Payback and Extreme Rules, but at least we got Survivor Series, which
Survivor Series was a good old show.
a lot of wrestling though.
Yes.
A lot of wrestling. We finally were able to sit down today and talk about it, so it felt
Yes.
good to be back.
No doubt. And we've got a week ahead. We've got another action-packed week ahead. We've got SmackDown.
Yeah.
SmackDown, Raw, the other Wednesday shows.
Do it all again next week.
Yeah, no doubt. So we will be back in a week. Catch us. There's a number of ways to catch the podcast. You can listen to us on the YouTube. Catch us on Libsyn. We're on iTunes as well. Make sure you visit otsportsnetwork.com and check out some of the blogs. We got NFL Power Rankings.
That's right. Yours truly.
At Jeremy Chai Sox on Twitter is probably going to pop off with a White Sox report card, something like that, off-season report here with the White Sox.
Doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Number of blogs coming out. Doc's going to be cooking something up for us pretty soon.
Big 10.
Yeah. So until next time, thank you for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling
Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the On the Mark podcast.
Brock Lesnar going for F5 to Cena for the championship. Lesnar with the cover.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. For more information and updates, make sure to follow us on Twitter at PodOnTheMark.